Okay, my dear students, now I would like to discuss about land use patterns. The topic is land use patterns in India. The second unit, this is very important type of short question which is related to Nanaya University examinations. Okay, right. Land use patterns means we know very well about soils. The uppermost layer on the earth's surface is called as soil. The soil is very in different regions having different soils. So then the land, entire land divided into some parts for different utilities enter the India. So then how much land for which purpose we are utilizing and how much we cultivation for agriculture, how much land for wastelands, how much lands for forest conservation and forest existence. All these information recorded by Food and Agricultural Organization and some research organizations gathering information, and it drafts an abstract report. It gives us, then we are awareing about which land, how much land we are using in right way, how much land we are not using in proper way, how much land are waste. All these things knowing by the information which are given by research organizations. My dear students, land use pattern is nothing but the utilization of land depends upon the physical factors and chemical factors of topography of lands. So then there are types of soil, climate, human factors. They are density of population, using of technological motion, particular area people, land tenure system, and as well as technical factors of the people. All these factors are determined to land use pattern system. My dear students, briefly giving information about land use patterns depends upon the climatic situations and chemical issues of the land, and as well as different climatic situations on the particular lands, like water facility, temperature conditions, moisturization conditions, humidity levels on the particular land areas. These are all determination of land use pattern system in India. And another remaining fact is the people utilizing technology the people who are followed the different tenure systems on the land areas, and as well as the density of population of the concerned area of the particular land. All these facts are determination the usage of the land which existing on the earth's surface. My dear students, so then according to India as in a 7th largest geographical area in the world, that the data is the total land is in India 328.88 million hectares. According to India, there is a 328.88 million hectares availability, but statistical reports to land cultivation were available. Out of 328.88 million hectares, availability of cultivation land is only 305.94 million hectares. According to statistical reports, the entire availability of the land in India is 328.88 million hectares, but it is not really utilizing by our people. There must be availability of the cultivation land in India is 305.94 million hectares. So then nearly 20 to 23 million hectares are not useful for any activity due to the so many reasons. What are the reasons? Then we studied next point onwards. Okay, my dear students, according to land use patterns of India, entire India available land is 328.88 million hectares, but we are utilizing only 305.94 million hectares. It is available for cultivation. Okay, then what are the system existing in Swan? Swan area is 118.7 million hectares to 140 million hectares. 140 million hectares. It increases. Swanned area, the total swanned area is, once upon a time, that is in 1950, 118.7 million hectares availability on those days. But we should increase the swanned area is 140 million hectares according to data of 2013. Then it is increases 42%. The differentiation in between these two data is 42. It is in a great remarkable achievement by our scholars, by the support of the government. Then it is 46% of increasing world average. In India, according to the 75 years after independence, our Swan area increases 46% compared to the worldwide average. The worldwide average much higher than 40%, it is very high compared to the worldwide countries like USA. USA is only using sand area 25%, whereas USSR, Russia using 16%. India is a great achieved a good sign to sand area. My dear students, it is very great thing in Indian swanning area, but another a small drastic problem in here. What is that? That is the per capita income, per capita cultivation land is decreased. The total swan area is increased, but in India, per capita cultivation for each individual cultivation is decreasing from 0 to 0.53 million hectares to 0.11 hectares. So it is a very drastic fell down according to per capita cultivation. Compared to the all worldwide countries, we are in a dangerous position. Per capita cultivation compared to the all worldwide countries, India is very less, but total swan area is increases compared to the worldwide countries. Why? We are already discussed in this. We are in the 40% growth of swan cultivation within the 70 years, but USA, that is 25, USSR is only 16. According to the total swan area, we are in great, but per capita cultivation land has grown down drastically, that is 0.53 to 0.11 million hectares. So that it is a drastic downfall compared to the worldwide countries. Right, my dear students? Then how much land we are having, how much land we are utilizing, and how much percentage of increased swan area already we discussed in this session. And next point we go to which lands are using for different activities according to the Food and Agricultural Organization giving information, the chronological information. Then we will discuss according to like this. So for the first point is area swan more than once. In India, the total land which existing on earth surface, more than one uses or more than one utilization of a particular land is 34.78. More than one utilities. A single swan land using more than one utility, that much of land is 34.78%. Million hectares, sorry, not percentage, million hectare. That increasing rate is 15.99%. There are different categories of lands according to their own utilities. The first one is the total land. Out of the total land, which area swan more than one utility, one uses, more than one uses, that land is 34.78 million hectares. That in total report of area, entire India, that ratio is 15.99%. Right. Another thing is, another important land uses in India which is given by the Food and Agricultural Organization report to us, the total forest land. The total forest land existing in India is 40.45 hectares, million hectares, not hectares, to 70.1 million hectares. This is 1951 report. This is 2013 report. Due to these 60-70 years, we grow up more and more forest land. We are utilizing that land to grow up more and more forest area regarding when we are observing this table or data. The total forest land is in 1951 40.45 million hectares. It increases to 70.01 million hectares in 1913 chronological data. So that ratio is to the total report of the area is 22.88%. 22.88%. It is a very important thing. Then we are awareing about India is to going green forestry zone. Right. Next one, the third one is the most important significant land uses is land not available for cultivation. Those lands are not available for cultivation, that is 14.3% in 2013 total report of area. Entire total area of the land, we are 14.3% of land, they are not available for any cultivation. They are called desertified lands, I think. Okay, my dear students, another important land usage pattern, that is permanent pasture other than other grazing lands. So permanent pasture other grazing lands like grass, pasture, they are utilizing for the fodder of animals. The pasture culture and as well as growing grass, that is nothing but grass. That grass useful for food material of animals, that is nothing but fodder. That land is the total 10.24 million hectares in 2013. According to 2013 reports, 10.24 million hectares land which we are using permanent cultivation of pasture and as well as other grazing food materials for the animals. This is 3.35 total reported area, entire Indian geographical area. So we know very well, Indian cultivator more than economically strong by the help of cattle breeding and as well as animal husbandry. This animal husbandry requires more and more fodder, so that fodder supplies by these lands, it is very important issue according to the strength of Indian agricultural cultivators. Okay, my dear students, are you understood about all these facts? And I will discuss the fifth point, that is land under miscellaneous tree crops and grass, bamboos, like that. So another one is land under miscellaneous trees, crops and as well as grass At the same time, bamboos and something. That much of land, that land is 9.8 million hectares in 1950. These types of lands cultivated is nothing but is 19.8 million hectares in 1950, but that is decreasing 3.16 million hectares according to 2013 reports. So according to this statement, we have one thing observed one thing, that is tree crops and grass, bamboo cultivated lands are declining due to the heavy industrialization, shifting culture of the tribal people, all these facts. So then these lands are declining from 19.8 million hectares to 3.16 million hectares. It is in the worst condition. Then every government in in India to support improve these lands into the convertibility. My dear students, another point I will discuss, that is cultivation wasteland due to lack of salinity and alkalinity. My dear students, there is no equality of our figures on hand. The same issue, conditions are applying lands also. Some lands are getting low fertiles due to the some mixtures of textures of things. Due to the lack of salinity, alkalines, some wastelands are formed in Indian geographical area. Like the data is 29.9 million hectares to 18.5 million hectares. These lands are converting to unutilization or desertified lands into converts into the utilizing capacity, build up the improvement of the that soils. So then these lands are decreases. That means utilizing capacity of cultivation of wasteland due to the lack of salinity and alkalinity and other toxicant issues which is existing on the earth, they must be used by using advanced system of soils. So then, according to this information, we finally conclude 29.9 million hectares to 12.5 million hectares. It is reducing, but in our sense, these lands are converted into cultivation. So according to these 70 years, we are growing this type of cultivation. These lands are utilizing by man-made activities, right? And finally, fallowed lands. We are not utilizing for any purpose, or temporary out of cultivation, or in long term there is no useful for that lands. That type of lands is in India 3.7%. These 3.7% of total reported entire geographical India, it is very less. So that these type of lands, particularly in Rajasthan and Bihar some of states. So then fallowed lands means they are not using for any issues on particular issue. So then that is 3.7 at Rajasthan. Example is Rajasthan, Bihar and some other countries in India. Okay, my dear students, about the discussion all these things, we have a broad idea how much land are availability in India, how much land is eligibility to cultivate different fields in India, how much land for different regions of India, how much land we are waste and we are how much land not supported to any activities regarding cultivation or something in India. All these systems, all these things we are knowing, it is helpful for our broad way of knowledge. Thank you very much. Students, now I would like to brief information about soils in India. Early in the class, we already discussed the topic is land use patterns in India. So now the topic is in second unit, soils in India. You know very well in the last session what is meant by soil and how soil is formed, what are the components and contents existing in the soil. Soil is nothing but uppermost layer of the earth is nothing but soil. Soil have created or generated by so many ways. There are different types of soils by the conditions of climates, weathering, organic and inorganic matters, climatic situations and so on. There are different types of soils. They are useful for different cultivations and harvestings of food and food grains and as well as fodders. My dear students, according to Indian Geographical Area, ICAR, Indian Crop and Agricultural Research Center, New Delhi, they are classified in 8 types of soils which exist in entire Indian Geographical Area. They are, first one is alluvial soils and second one is black soil, third one is red soil, fourth one is laterite soil and fifth one is arid soil and sixth one is salinity soil and seventh one is peaty soil and last one is mountain soil. According to Indian Geographical Area, soils divided in or classified into 8 types, depends upon climatic situations and as well as the chemical and physical characteristics of the soils and depends upon weathering condition, moisturization, humidity, all these facts are to determine about to the formations of the soils. So that's why I would like to discuss one by one what is the importance of a particular soil, how they form, what in where it is where they are existing in particular geographical areas, entire in Indian geosystem. So then I am giving a lecture on types of soils or soils in India. My dear students, soil is very, very important for cultivating agriculture or harvesting agriculture. So every soil his own importance about its own characteristic to develop the different activities, like some of the soils are producing raw material of industries, some of the soils are important to making the to produce the production of different agricultural grains and non-food grains. So then let us discuss one by one first. That first one is alluvial soil. It is the most favorable soil which existing in India. That is 40% of total area in India is in olive soil. Olive soil is totally concentrated either sides of the river basins by rivers. So they are Indo-Gangetic range and as well as Brahmaputra region, Narmada and Tapati region, Yamuna river region, and as well as Krishna and Godavari region. There are so many river regions, either sides of the rivers. The rivers, to establish these soils by there is natural phenomenon, there are 40% of olive soils existing in India. Then olive soil is in a deposit work of rivers in the river valleys. 40% of our total area of land, these are sandy, loomy and as well as rich potash but poor phosphorus content existing in these soils. Students, once I remember you, these rivers, when I am already told you, Ganga, Brahmaputra, Godavari, Krishna, Narmada, Tapati, these rivers deposited these olive soils either sides of these river basins. So then at the same time these soils are existing sandy, loomy and clay. It is very fertile land having rich potash, but it is less amount of phosphorus. So then there are two types of olive soils. The one is old olive and second one is new olive. The old olive name is Bhangar. It's called as Bhangar. Bhangar soil, it is the old olive soil. Its name is old olive soil. It's called as Bhangar. And another one is new olive soil. that is Khadar. Khadar is in a new olive soil, Bhangar is in a old olive soil. Then light grey in color and as well as varieties of crops like pulses and cotton, sugarcane, jute and etc. These are all crops. This olive soil color is in grey, and the varieties of crops fertile in the soil, in the soil of olive. So there what they are like pulses, cotton, sugarcane, jute and all. So it is very loomy clay, so that's why it is very easy to ploughing the agricultural field to cultivate or harvesting of the agriculture. So then varieties of crops fertile in these lands. My dear students, it have high humidity soil. So these soils are very fertile soil. 40% of the in Indian geographical area which existed by olive soils. Most of all the people or cultivators depends upon these things. Particularly where they are located Indo-Gangetic region, Narmada Tapadi, Brahmaputra, Yamuna and as well as Krishna and Godavari river basins. Entire these river basins are occupied by these olive soils. And another important thing, soil is black. Black soil is also called as cotton soil. It is most favorable for production of cotton seeds. Black soil is in Maharashtra. It is most favorable condition at Maharashtra. So that's why what it is speciality. So we learn by the way of expression. These are rugged soil. It's called as rugged soil or cotton soil. These are formed by solidification of lava by volcanic eruption when ballast mineral which explodes from magma under crust of the earth, it explodes by volcanic eruption, that is lava. Lava spread off on the earth's surface, then it will deposited on the earth floor. So lakhs of the years, this type of transaction, lakhs of the years, it should be spread into the earth surface. So then it is formed. Black soil is in mainly these are formed by solidification of lava by volcanoes. They are formed. So then it is in Deccan Plateau, located in Deccan Plateau. We know very well about India, the mid of the geographical area is nothing but Deccan Plateau. The Deccan Plateau is a very hard soil which explodes by magma into the lava by volcanoes. Solidification from ancient periods onwards. So these soils are formed. Black soil formation by solidification of lava which came from the volcanic eruptions. So it is spread and deposits to the under the earth. So after that it is formed. So nearly 5 lakhs square kilometers in India belongs to black soil. It it spreads into the Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Gujarat, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. These basalt soils, these are all called basalt soil, and as well as sustaining moisture. It have sustaining moisture. They are rich minerals like lime, iron and manganese and etc. These soils are containing sustaining moisture. They are rich minerals like lime, that means limestone, iron, manganese and likes that. But it lack of phosphorus. So that's why nitrogen and organic matters, they are very in less amount of in these soils. It is the base of Deccan Plateau. It is the base of Deccan Plateau. So once I brief information about the black soils. Black soil is more than concentrated in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and as well as Karnataka, Gujarat, Andhra and Tamil Nadu. Particularly basalt soil, it is also called basalt soil, rugged soil and as well as cotton soil. Chief export of black soil is, chief production of this soil is cotton. So that's why at the same time they have rich minerals. Black soil having more minerals like lime, iron and manganese. Okay, but they have lack of phosphorus, nitrogen, organic matters which existing in the black soils. This is information about the black soil which existing in India. At the same time, another soil is very important soil is red soil. Red soil in color is in red. Why? Because these soils are including in iron oxide or ferrous. So that's why this black soil color in red. So more than iron oxide showed this soil in red color. These mainly tropical and dry tropical area and tropical and dry lands in the peninsular of India. Peninsular means the V shape of India. Plateau and peninsula. They are mostly in Tamil Nadu. Like in India, like look like this. This V-shaped area is nothing but peninsular. So that's why these are all most peninsular, tropical and dry areas which they are existing in Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha and Jharkhand, like that. These soils, these red soils are Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and as well as Maharashtra, Odisha. These lands are very less fertile and as well as they developed granite and quartz. These are all minerals. In Andhra Pradesh, Kadapa is a most important granite stone, granite industry. Why? Because they are located in granite industry. So that industry located is only availability of these red soil. So these red soil crops are like bajra, maize and as well as millets and oil seeds. These red soils to fertile to cultivate, for the utilization of the cultivation of oil seeds, bajra, pulses and maize. All these are food crops and very rich crops. So, red soil is very, very important for giving all these materials. Okay, my dear students, let us go to laterite. Laterite soil, they are laterite soil identified by the Britishers in 1905. Laterite word is in Latin, derived from Latin. It is later, that means bricks. Students, I remember you once. Laterite soil is identified by Britishers in 1905 in India. Laterite means latter, so it means brick. So then these soils are hard and cloudy on drying. These soils is very clouding and as well as drying. So that's why it is helpful for making bricks. I give you best example in Kerala. They are using sliced bricks onto the roof of household sector. Like Kerala, every house made up of brick constructions. Sliced brick construction is there. That architecture and constructions of buildings is totally different from other Indian regions. Specifically, we are identifying at Kerala. So then, these are in Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh, some hill areas according to Odisha and Assam also. These laterite soils also availability in Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and some other hilly regions. They are like Odisha and Assam. These are all not suitable for agriculture. They are not suitable for agriculture. Why? Because they are drying. These lands are drying. In drying position, it is a drying position of the soil. If there is no possibility, there is no possibility of soil cultivation. So then, but some other grass, bamboo sticks, grass, bushes and shrubs. But agricultural cultivation is not possible in particular these laterite soils. But it is possible growing of grass, bushes and shrubs, particularly in these soils. Right? It gives good building materials. Already I told you, bricks. Mainly Kerala constructions about the houses, they are using building material which is making by laterite soils. And next one, red laterite soil is for growing up of cashew nuts. Red laterite soil, it is very useful for cultivation of cashew nut production. The best example is Kerala and as well as Karnataka. Right? Laterite soils are existing in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Andhra Pradesh we know very well about in Kadapa. And Nilagiri at Kerala. These are the chief sources of availability in these states like Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and at Andhra Pradesh, Kadapa, in Kerala, that Nilagiri hills, Vindhya Satpura caves areas, these laterite soils are available. Okay, my dear students, we already completed 4, and 5th one is arid soils. Arid soils are more than concentrated in the desert area of Rajasthan. Okay, so then Chodam, just listen to me. At Rajasthan and Haryana, these arid soils are located. That northwest regions like Rajasthan and Haryana, some of west part of Haryana, these soils are located. At the same time, they are in brown color. The sandy soils, the arid soils are nothing but sandy soils. Sandy soils in color is brown. So that's why these are called sandy and saline. So in Rajasthan, we know very well deserts, Sambaru desert. So they are in saline. Why? Because evaporation of water, so that lack of moisturization, it is not suitable for cultivation, but sustainable plants are grown in this arid soil. Sustainable means in Telugu Brahmajamudu and Nagajamudu. These type of plants, sustainable plants are in these plants. And next one is these lands are having hume. Some of places sustainable plants are grown. The total geographical area, 4.42% of total area in India is occupied by arid soils. Yet these soils are not fertile, but these land areas, India using atomic explosions like atomic explosions in the desert areas. For that purpose, it is not useful for any cultivation. The 4.42% of the land there belongs to arid soils. And next one, sixth soil name is saline soils. You know very well, saline is nothing but which contains salt. So then, sodium, potassium and magnesium more than concentrated in a particular thing of soil, that soil is called as a saline soil. Infertile soils, these are all infertile, there is not used for any fertility. So then, scarcity of vegetation because of salt. These lands, scarcity of vegetation. Why? Because there must be a salt. There must be a salt. So then, salt contented, saline contented soils are not possible to fertility. So then, due to poor drainage system. Why? Because these soils are in saline. There the main reason is there is no drainage system, flow of water and system and dry climate. There is two issues. One is poor drainage system and next one dry climate system is there. So that's why these are saline soils. At the same time, we go for seventh soil. Seventh type of soil is petty soils. These soils are in heavy rainfall. Heavy rainfall means northeastern states, they are heavy rainfall. Cherrapunji, Mawsynram, in the state of Meghalaya. So these are all heavy rainfall areas. The petty soils are existing in heavy rainfall areas. large humidity. Most of all humidity concentrated areas like Bihar, Uttarakhand, coastal area of West Bengal, like that. We know very well these wetty soils, most favorable area is 24 Parganas, Sundarbans. The hanging gardens are existing on the petty soils. So, at the same time, large humidity they have contained. At the same time, they are located in Bihar, Uttarakhand, coastal area of West Bengal and Odisha, Tamil Nadu. Organic matters 40 to 50% including in the soil. So, these are less content of nitrogen. So, that is why every plant roots are exceeding the earth floor. So, then that is the best example is Sundarbans. And finally, we go for mountain soils. My dear students, these lands are more we visibly see at Meghalaya, Assam, like that. Why? Because Himalayas, like that. They are founded in thick forest areas. These mountain soils are more than concentrated. Slides of the hill stations, slope downs of the hill stations, more than soil existing in mountains. That's why these soils are called mountain soils, right? Valleys, sufficient rainfall like Himalayas, these soils are having loomy and silty. Why? Because heavy rainfall areas of Himalayas and as well as Dodabedda and as well as northeastern hill stations, heavy rainfall, due to the heavy rainfall, the water flow from upward to downward, then these mountain soils are formed. So then 5.5% of total area which covered in India belongs to mountain soils. Okay, my dear friends. So, there is a sufficient rainfall when it occurs, then mountain soils are formed. In India, more than Himalayan regions and as well as Assam, Meghalaya are the best examples of locating mountain soils. Before going to my conclusion of this lecture session, then there are 8 types of soils according to the ICAR New Delhi in India. They are olive, black, red, laterite, red and saline, petty and mountain soils. They are very great useful to our Indian socio-economic conditions. These are all very helpful for India is an agro-based country because of systems. Thank you very much.